Hey everyone, welcome back to Build a Better Baker. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, so this year I'm making the wife a homemade box of chocolates, because it means so much more when you make something from the heart. I'll be making her a dark chocolate truffle, a strawberry white chocolate, a milk chocolate Bailey's, and a cherry chocolate almond. I already have a heart-shaped silicone mold that's perfect for Valentine's, but I wanted to try out these polycarbonate molds. It should have a nicer shine when finished. If you want to make your own chocolates, I'll have the recipe and ingredients listed in the description below. But the only ingredient you can't buy is love. So let's get to it. Starting with the filling, I heat up the heavy cream with some butter, salt, and their individual flavorings. I want to bring it to a simmer, but if it goes a little over like I did, you should be fine. Then I pour the hot liquid over the chocolate, let it sit for a minute so it melts the chocolate. Once that's melted, I give it a good mix until it's smooth as silk. Now I'll be making 4 different ganaches, matching the chocolate in the ganache to the chocolate in the shell that I'll be making later. A plain dark chocolate ganache that I'll be using for my truffles, cherry chocolate ganache for my cherry chocolate almond, a milk chocolate Bailey's ganache, and a strawberry white chocolate ganache, which is my wife's favorite. Actually, for the strawberry white chocolate ganache, I made the shell first because I was worried I wouldn't have enough chocolate for the molds, but I ended up with plenty anyways. The dark chocolate ganache for the truffles, I put in the fridge to set so that I can scoop them later. But for the other chocolates, I cooled them at room temperature because I want them pliable so I can pipe them into the molds. While the fillings are cooling, I start tempering the cocoa butter, which is like tempering chocolate. It's all about temperature control and timing. The cocoa butter will help unmold from the polycarbonate molds, and you can also color it to get a design on the outside of your chocolates. I picked up a few oil-based food colorings when I bought my new polycarbonate molds, and I played around with a few different designs to see which one works best. Tried some splatters, tried some brush strokes, even dabbing with a paper towel. Hopefully one of them looks nice. Next I start tempering my chocolate for the shells. For my cherry chocolate almond, I'll be using dark chocolate. So I melt the chocolate on a double boiler, which I just use a steel bowl on top of simmering water. I want that steam, but no bubbles. This will help so I don't overheat the chocolate. I let that melt gently, stirring every once in a while. I want it nice and smooth, but I don't want the temperature to go above 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Once that's melted and smooth, I remove it from the heat and let it cool back down to 80 degrees. Since this is such a small amount, I can just cool it in the same bowl. And then once cooled, I bring it back up to working temperature, which is about 88 degrees. Now this sounds simple, but in practice, keeping everything the right temperature while working quickly is really a pain. That's why I'll only temper chocolate for the people I love. With the chocolate tempered, it's time to fill the molds. I find using a piping bag gives me more control when filling the cavities, especially on this new mold I got, which has crevices at the top that can trap air. Once the mold is filled, I give it a little shake and then flip it upside down to empty out all the excess chocolate. Scrape off the top and set it aside until the chocolate is set. I repeat this process for the other 2 chocolates, tempering milk chocolate for my Bailey's and white chocolate for my strawberry, lining the molds with them. The only difference is temperature. Milk and white chocolate are a little more delicate than dark, so they should be heated to a lower temperature. Now with my 3 molds lined, I set them aside to cool and finish off my cherry chocolate almond filling. I'm making candied almonds because I feel like there's a more satisfying crunch from them. Besides, candied almonds are so quick and easy, why not? For candying nuts, I just use a simple syrup, which is equal parts sugar and water, and then I throw in some corn syrup. Simmer for about 10 minutes, spread them out onto a silpat, bake them until golden brown. Once cool, I chopped them up as well as some dried cherries, and mix them both into the ganache to finish it. The milk chocolate Bailey's and strawberry white chocolate I want to keep smooth and creamy, so I'm going to use them as is. I put the 3 fillings into piping bags and pipe them each into their respective shells, making sure to leave a little room at the top. Now finishing up our chocolates, temper some more chocolate to cover up your filling. I clean it up by dragging a scraper across the mold and scrape off the excess chocolate. Learning as I go, I found that a piece of parchment on top helps hold the chocolate in place, gives you a smooth surface to scrape off. I let that sit in the fridge for about 20 minutes. It should be ready to unmold. While the chocolates are setting, the ganache is firmed up and is ready to be scooped into truffles. I like my 100 scoop because it's similar to the size of the other chocolates. After they're all scooped, I roll them in my hands to smooth them out. If they're not perfectly round though, it's fine. Imperfections show that they're homemade, not mass-produced. Now finish them up with just a light coating on the outside. I tried cocoa powder, powdered sugar, and candied almonds, just to see which one I like the best. And the simplicity of the cocoa powder perfectly balanced with the sweetness of the ganache. Now that the truffles are finished, Time to unmold the chocolates. With a few taps, I can get most of them out, but the ones that didn't, I put back in the fridge to give them a little more time. And you know what? I'm really happy with the way the Bailey's milk chocolate came out. The pattern was gorgeous, they had a great shine, and the white cocoa butter against the milk chocolate gave it that cream in your coffee look. On the other hand, cherry chocolate almond, not so much. The red cocoa butter wasn't really visible, not like I wanted anyways, so I switched to plan B, brushing them with luster dust. I found that rose gold and pink worked well together, and actually, maybe it's a happy accident, because they came out even better. Strawberry white chocolate were in a silicone mold, which I knew wouldn't have as nice of a shine, but that heart shape is so cute I just had to use it. Overall, I'm happy with my chocolates, but you can't have a chocolate box without the box. So to push the presentation over the top, I custom made a double flip top box. I went with pink and red to keep in theme of the holiday, and the art department even put together a Valentine's Day logo, which I put on the band that holds the box closed. I loaded the box with 8 chocolates, 2 of each kind, separated by dividers that have hearts at the end. Closed it up, slide the band back on, and there you have it. One personalized box of chocolates for Valentine's Day. And giving them one last taste test, I'm really happy with how they all came out, especially since this is my first time making them. The Bailey's one is my favorite. They're just so smooth and creamy. Seriously, they melt in your mouth. And I know the wife's gonna love that strawberry white chocolate, so I call this a win. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed watching me make these as much as I enjoyed making them. If you do make them yourself, be sure to let me know how they turned out. And don't forget to like and subscribe to see what else I'm gonna make. See you all next time with another delicious treat. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And remember, just keep baking.